Listen to Desert Radio wherever you are in the world by streaming live on desertradio.fm. 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 Desert Radio. The Bold Voice.
Welcome to the Bold Voice. Member of Parliament Dr. Tangeni Iyambo from the Swanu party has urged for an inquiry into the circumstances surrounding the death of President Hage Geingob, and drawing on his military intelligence background, as he says, Dr. Iyambo emphasized the importance of understanding the details surrounding the death of the head of state, stating that it is a civic duty for both civilians and those with military experience to seek clarity in such matters. He attempted to put this question on the floor of the National Assembly, but to no avail yesterday. Take a listen to this short clip. Then, of course, we get in touch with the doctor himself.
Let's do justice to our country.
No.
Yes.
No.
Maybe some of you are civilians. I have a military intelligence background. And I think we have a civic responsibility as Namibians to know the strange circumstances under which our head of state.
No.
What was strange?
All right. Doctor, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Kelvin. I'm fine, thank you. And how are you this morning?
Doing very well, Doctor. Just bear with me. I just want to get my technology correct there. Then, of course, we can roll with you perfectly there. Doctor, if you can hear me clearly, why do you find the death of President Hage Geingob to be a death shrouded by mystery, as you say, that the strange circumstances surrounded his death? What is strange about the death of the head of state, as you see it?
Kelvin, first of all, let me greet the listeners of the Desert Radio. Let me greet the whole country in all corners of it. And I also will use the opportunity to give my additional condolences to the bereft family of Geingobs. I have a concern, Kelvin, and I thought that all of us should have this concern, but I'm surprised that it seems to me it's few of us, or maybe myself alone, who have this concern. But if a country loses a head of state, I think it is necessary and important to probe into what exactly happened. Because the head of state is not an ordinary, it's not just a Tangeni Iyambo.
Right.
It's a head of state. It's the president of the country. Regardless of our differences politically or policy-wise or things that have transpired over time, he was the president of Namibia. And any country, any sovereign state has a right to probe into a mysterious death, if I have to put it that way, of a head of state. Because we have a state security agency, Namibia Intelligence Agency. I think they owe an explanation to the nation as to, especially the last, say, 10 days of the president. Because we very well know that our president was vocal recently on supporting Ramaphosa in South Africa on the Israeli issue to the International Court of Justice. And we also know that our president was vocal on the Germans, against the Germans having supported Israel directly. And this is a world, and we keep talking about the international community. Who are this international community, and are we not part of this international community? We grew up, some of us going to school, reading Sherlock Holmes, watching Bond movies, and secret agents actually investigate some of these issues in order to bring calm to the nation. Otherwise, honestly, I don't think it's fair to just be told the president is gone after a few tumors of cancer tumors were detected. And there are other people who are living with cancer tumors in the country. I think Tangeni Iyambo came out clean and he's still alive. So what actually transpired? There are numerous questions. I'm not saying I have answers or who possesses the answers, but indeed, I think, as I said in Parliament yesterday, the nation has a civic duty to know what transpired in the mysterious death of our president.
Yes, you keep on referring to the death as mysterious, which suggests that there are certain elements about that happening that are not clear enough. The president came out to say that a diagnosis had been made, cancer cells were found in his body. Then, of course, it was made clear to us that he was flying to the United States for treatment. Then he came back. We were also informed there. Then he got into ICU. Then we were also informed the next thing, the president died. What exactly is the mystery here that you see? Where is the mystery?
I will leave that to investigators, Kelvin. Because all I am concerned with is the way it happened seemed not to be right. According to me, that is anyway. I hope that there are some Namibians who feel the same sentiment. But the thing is, we have friends all over the world. Did it have to be, and there is this infamous, we are friends to none and enemies to none. And which for me is a little not right also somehow. Because historically we have been having friends who assisted us through the liberation struggle. And I think Cuba is one of the countries that has advanced medicine in this world. And I believe that they would be open to treat and resuscitate state president, especially of the one that they have good relations, bilateral ties, and so on. So the mystery is not to come from Tangeni, but it's to be explained by those who are deliberately employed to do such. Because, as I said earlier, we have an intelligence organization, Namibian Central Intelligence Agency. I think.
All right. So if the investigation is to involve the Secret Service, the impression that you're making there is that the president could have been the target of an assassination attempt, or assassination act. But then some would say, why can't you look to the reality of a post-mortem? Definitely, when a person dies, post-mortem will be done. Why would you want to say the intelligence must be involved?
Well, I don't know whether the extent of my querying will even go to if I understood you correctly, go to the post-mortem. But that is also indeed necessary if the investigation is serious. Because we need to be serious with this, as it involves security.
All right. So some people are saying that you are just failing to come to terms with the death of the president because it happened so suddenly. The Speaker of Parliament could not give you a chance yesterday. He thinks that whatever you wanted to put on the National Assembly floor was based on conjecture, and he wouldn't really allow that. What's your response to the Speaker? This is one of my disappointments being a parliamentarian in Namibia, I must tell you, Kelvin. Because coming from academia, you have to be free in thinking and information and what you relate to your students and so on. You find that the opposite in parliament, that is that because you are from an alternative party or not from the ruling party, that is, whatever you bring, be it good for the nation, be it a policy, something that can result in a policy that will benefit all Namibians, as long as it is coming from an alternative party or a small party or not the ruling party, that is, so to say. They reject it. And time and again, I have noticed that whenever I want to come up with something, the Speaker tends to, supported of course by the Sopo caucus, want to thwart it and don't want the nation to hear. But you see, the most important thing in this world is that change is the law of nature and nothing is forever.
we need to talk to. There is a lot of discord among ministries, among the population. We must serve Namibia as one, thinking in terms of saving this enormous, rich country. But now, if some ideas are dropped or thwarted or not listened to, I think we are doing a great disservice to the nation. Because what it is we have different experiences, different exposures, and so on. So we need to listen to each other in order to carry this ship, Namibia, forward if we want to enjoy our sovereignty.
That's right.
And
so
that's my take on that.
Yes. And lastly, you mentioned that you are not a civilian. You have a military intelligence background. Would you want to maybe tell us a little bit more about that? Does it come from the liberation times?
Look, at the height of... I left this country in 1974 at the age of 19. And, of course, straight into plant fighting. And in plant fighting, due to happenings there, I happened to be involved with a unit of James Awala, who was the head of intelligence. And, of course, we used to do these reconnaissance missions and so on. Besides that, whatever you are exposed to and you add a bit to it by reading and taking different courses at various universities and so on, you actually empower yourself to know that there are intelligence agents. Right now, I was looking up something on Google the other day. They say that the most powerful intelligence organization in the world right now is actually the Chinese. In terms of accessibility, that is. But in terms of power and the ability to execute what they do, is the CIA, for example. So, having knowledge of this MI5 and all these organizations, I said to you earlier, we have prescriptions, for example, in O level of Sherlock Holmes, and so you add to your knowledge of what was exposed to you through reading and talking to people and so on and so on. So it's not to say I'm an expert, but at least I'm exposed to such information. And so I know also that while we say we are friends to none and enemy to none, there are some countries who do not work even on friendship.
All right. So
to
Doctor,
protect their interests.
Yes. So, Doctor, as we close there, after your attempt to submit this before the floor of the National Assembly yesterday, did you get any support from other lawmakers after Parliament?
A lot of it. Some of them even disclosed that maybe they think they are cowards because they wanted to contribute, but then the Speaker didn't give chance for the question to be elaborated and so on. So I think there are a lot of things that are stifled in this country that could lessen the amount of poverty, lawlessness, inequality, etc. in a sovereign Namibia.
Doctor, thank you so much for the time that you gave us there.
We listen to each other.
We appreciate
it for having me, and I hope that we will learn to synchronize and kind of culturally engineer Namibia towards what we want to live in.
That's right. That's Dr. Tangeni Iyambo there speaking with us.
Listen to Desert Radio wherever you are in the world by streaming live on desertradio.fm. 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 Desertradio.fm.